Welcome to Ask the Tech Coach, brought to you by the TeacherCast Educational Network. If you are in charge of professional development and looking to build an innovative digital learning experience, this is the podcast for you. Join us each week as we uncover strategies that tech coaches are using to drive their digital transformations one classroom at a time. And now for your host, with over 2 decades of experience working with tech coaches and ed tech companies from all around the world, Jeff Bradbury.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TeacherCast Educational Network. My name is Jeff Bradbury. Thank you so much for joining us today and making TeacherCast your home for professional development. Welcome to 2021. It is so great to have with you today, and we've got some big news here on the Ask the Tech Coach podcast. I want to bring on my co-host, Susan Vincent. Susan, how are you today? Welcome to the show.
Happy New Year. Great to be back after a wonderful holiday break.
Happy New Year indeed. It is great to see you. Just before we really get started with the show, you have a big announcement for the new year, don't you?
Yes. Remember all that talk about Tech Imaginations coming soon? It's here. I'm so excited. Thank you, Jeff, for all your help. Happy New Year to me.
Sorry if that was a little bit loud, but I am so excited. The website is awesome, techimaginations.net. Check out all the great stuff. Now, I got to ask you here as a tech coach, one of the goals that you set out for last year when we started this a long time ago, you wanted to create a website for your tech coaching. Talk to us a little bit about this. Like, what are your goals for doing this? Why are you doing Tech Imaginations, not Sue the Tech Coach website for school? Like, this is not a school project. This is your own site, right? Which a lot of tech coaches do. So talk to us a little bit about the website, your philosophy. Like, what are you going to do with it now that you have it?
Yes, and Tech Imaginations has been around for a couple years, but yes, this whole revisioning and revamping of it is just been a dream of mine for a while. You know, I've been a tech coach for over 15 years, but, you know, I really want to get out there and present and be a mentor to other tech coaches that are out there and just teachers in general, and just be able to make a difference not only on my 4 campuses, but, you know, across the country and globally. Just like we teach our students, you know, get yourself out there globally, learn to collaborate. And, you know, that's what I'm all about, is collaboration and, you know, getting to know people through, you know, this avenue.
Well, that's certainly what this website looks like it's going to do. Now, if you are a tech coach out there watching this and you're thinking about creating a website for yourself, you know, not maybe for your school district, but maybe as your own, you know, way of building your EDU brand, I encourage you guys to take that step this year. We're going to talk today about how Sue built it, what she built it with, how we're designing it together. I want you guys to know one website to go to, which is educationalwebdesign.com. A great website. You know, if you're looking to build an EDU website, check out everything over there. There's a great team of educators that are okay, so it's my stuff, right? If you're looking to build a great website, I would love to sit down with you the same way that I sat down with Sue. We will plan out your website. We will build it from scratch. If you're looking to port something from another location, happy to do that too. One of the things that I've done over the last couple of years is help a lot of educators create their own websites, create their own digital learning portals. I would love to work with you this year. Educationalwebdesign.com. Check it out. Lots of great stuff over there, resources. And, you know, there's a lot of things on TeacherCast about how to do that. We want to hear from you guys. And, you know, Sue, I'm so happy that this is done or just starting, I will say. Yeah. You said Tech Imaginations has been around for a while. What was the genesis? What did it look like before? Talk to us about what it was then, and then let's talk about what it is going to be.
Yeah. So, you know, like I said, I've been blogging and, you know, had videos out there and just various instructional tools. And I was using a site called Squarespace. And many of you may be aware, I'm also the director of communications for my church. And we use Squarespace, which is very built for churches because a lot of people are, you know, amateurs and doing other things as they do this. So I had designed Tech Imaginations on Squarespace before. And just, as I got more and more involved, presenting at conferences over the years, learning about it, and, getting to know Jeff and helping co-host this podcast, I've learned a lot from him. And so he's taught me a lot over the past year since I've been co-hosting with him. And, he started teaching me WordPress. And so I moved my whole domain over to WordPress last year sometime, and then just obviously 2020 happened and other things in life got in the way. So we got delayed, but WordPress has been awesome. And, just over holiday break, I finally had time to just sit down one day and just look at it. And I told my husband, I'm like, here we go. We're going to do this. And it just evolved in a matter of a couple of days. And now we're ready to launch right here on WordPress. And I love just the freedom WordPress gives you and the awesome templates that are out there.
When it comes to making a website, whether it be for a business, a brand, your coaching, anything like that, I always say that there's 4 different steps to that. The first one is planning. Second one is refining. Then we're at launching. And then there's that last step we're going to talk about later on here. And, really when it comes to planning, you are very simple with your thoughts. I have a site, I want to update it, and I want to be able to do anything that I want. And we talked about a variety of different sites, staying with Squarespace, going over to something like a Weebly or a Wix. We talked about WordPress. We also talked about Google sites. And as you mentioned, WordPress is number one. It's the number one website development platform. I think it's more than 45% of all internet traffic is done on WordPress these days. I mean, it's huge market share here. This wasn't free, right? Let's start off the bat. We did it on WordPress.com, and we upgraded to a premium package there, so we've had access to bringing in your own themes and stuff like that. So that little bit of a cost there, and then on top of that, there was the cost of the theme itself, which was I think $75 or $75, something like that. I mean, really not a lot of money on that. And really what you get for that is a fantastic looking platform. You can do anything you want. It backs it up nightly. I mean, we really decided to come up with a great looking site that can really do anything that Susan wants with it. She does a great YouTube channel. She does a great audio podcast, I think. And she's going to be doing some great blogs. Speaking of which, talk to us a little bit about some of the content you're looking to start creating this year.
So we've created on my website categories, which is pretty much the most common things that I tend to write about. Obviously, one of those top ones is technology coaching. So, my blogs are mostly going to be about technology coaching, and then my presentations at conferences. God help us that we get to do conferences again here in the next several months. So my conference presentations are on there, and I'm trying to go back and, add previous ones that are still relevant on the site. And, anything that we, when we publish a podcast each week, that'll be featured on my site as well, and refer back to the TeacherCast site. So, Jeff and I are collaborating in that manner. And then just my anything to do with ed tech. So that's one thing I've really liked about the WordPress setup, and the things that Jeff has taught me is, anytime I make a post, I can put it into this category, and that creates my pages. I didn't have to go out there and just come up with, okay, I want a home page, I want a blog page, I want a contact page. Those categories did it for me, and that was really eye-opening and enlightening. I love that feature.
And you know what? If some of these concepts are a little bit foreign to you, that's okay. All you have to do is head on over to teachercast.net. Right up at the top of the page, there's a button that says, I need help with. And then you can scroll down to designing a website. Got some great resources on how to get started, how to use WordPress. If you're looking to do Google sites, I got some great information and video tutorials on all of that too. Find out everything you need over at TeacherCast. It is your one-stop shop for 2021. Now, Sue, let's talk a little bit about your... I hate just clumping social media in there, but I know one of the things that you're passionate about doing is video. Talk to us a little bit about some of the YouTube videos and, how you're going to be building out that channel this year.
So, my YouTube channel consists of mainly tutorials. And some of them are longer. Some of them are short little Tech Tip Tuesday things I do. And most of those are things that I do for my teachers. But when I make the video, I try to address them in a more global manner so that I can put them out there publicly on my YouTube channel. My whole thing of wanting to be a collaborator globally was, if I'm going to do this, I want to do this professionally, which was the big reason I chose WordPress.
Yeah.
And and the YouTube channel is really evolving in that realm. So I feel like, as I've done this, and again, just learning as I've been co-hosting this podcast, I feel like my videos have gotten better over the past year or so. So, those videos are there with tutorials, and again, they're categorized in playlists. So, there's anything from Chromebook tips and tricks to, Google tips and tricks to just various digital curriculum how-tos that your school may or may not use. So, my YouTube channel is used by my teachers, but I do share it publicly here on my website and via my social media channels. So it's
I'm glad you mentioned that, because a lot of tech coaches are on the fence, right? Do they build their EDU brands on a website that's going to be their global persona, or do they go out and build a free or expensive website that's going to be their schools, right? And that,
yes.
that brings up the legal question. Like, you're doing something, do you own it? Does the school own it? If you're making a screencast during school time, do you put it on your website, personal web? Like, where are you with all of this stuff? Because, we're all content creators here. I'm sure anybody listening to this is thinking the same question of, well,
Right.
Can my school tell me to take something off my personal website?
Right. Yeah. And that's a huge question. And my school, and I think it just takes a lot of collaboration and talking it out. My school knows what I'm doing. They know this exists. They know I'm hosting this podcast, and they think it's a great thing. So, it just kind of depends on your school and your leadership being behind you. And I think that's just a lot of being there and talking it out with them. And I tend to, for my YouTube, I don't use my school account. I do make videos on school time, and those are the videos I share with my teachers, but I use a different account for my YouTube videos, so they are not on my school account. Then I can put them on my personal page. So that's a great tip that I would definitely share with those of you out there, just to be able to make that available.
What advice would you give a tech coach out there who's listening to this and saying, I'm not sure. Is this for me? Is this easy? Is it expensive? I want to do this, but I'm not quite sure. What advice would you give somebody?
Well, I think my biggest piece of advice is, what do you want to do and who do you want to touch? What are your goals? Is your goal just to be the best tech coach you can be in your school, in your district? And if so, that's great. And maybe just a free Google site will work for you. Or is your goal eventually to be out there like mine and collaborate globally, get some speaking gigs, get opportunities to present at conferences? So it just depends on where you want to go. I love my school system, and I feel like I'm very effective there and continue to be. But I love collaborating, like I said, globally, and I love presenting at conferences. That's just my biggest passion, is the presenting side of things, and, getting myself out there to have the opportunities to collaborate with others.
So one of the things that we're celebrating this year, or at least I'm celebrating this year, is that this is the 10-year anniversary of TeacherCast coming up on July 11th, 2021 here, 10 years. And I will say all of the wonderful things that have happened with TeacherCast have happened because of the website, have happened because I put it into WordPress. Took me over a year to move it from where I originally built it, an application called Sandbox. I don't even know if it's still around, onto WordPress. But as soon as I did, just the ability to build things allowed me to do more creativity and allowed me to build more stuff and interact with people. And that's really when TeacherCast took off, 10 years ago or so. congratulations. I know we've been joking about it for like every single episode here.
Yeah.
Hey, is this thing launching? And the one thing I'm proud of you the most is, we kind of did joke about it at the end last time you were on. We said, hey, when's it launching? And they're like, yeah, you're soon. But all you had to do is put your head down and say, we are doing this.
Absolutely.
And this is going to be, it didn't have to be a big ordeal. You don't have to launch with a ton of content. It was just seriously, let's put this together. I think your whole entire website is 3 pages.
Absolutely.
Your homepage, your contact, and your about me. And now really it's that second step. It's refining. Where do you want to go with this?
Right.
Websites are never done.
No,
and that's why
they're alive. Just like, when we train on Google Docs, we talk about being a live document because you can always edit it. You can always make changes. And that's what I love about this website is, when I make a new blog post, it automatically makes something new and it just comes up on the homepage under my category that I put it in. And it just kind of happens. And I love it.
And that's the things that we're going to talk about, right? Go on over to educationalwebdesign.com. You can hear testimonials from the other teachers and podcasters and bloggers that we put together. That really was the basis for me creating the Jeff Bradbury show, which is launching again. I'm excited. It's going to be launching again this week, in fact. So if you're looking to build your brand, build a blog, build a podcast, build something for yourself, become a consultant, check out all of our other podcasts out there. The Jeff Bradbury show is relaunching every Wednesday from now on. Of course, the Ask the Tech Coach podcast is going to be out there every Monday morning, and we've got TeacherCast podcasts spattered all throughout the calendar year. So lots of great stuff happening over here. Soon we're going to make this show short because I want to give everybody listening to this the opportunity to go check out educationalwebdesign.com. And of course, you can check out all the other archives of this episode over on AskTheTechCoach.com. Sue, where can we find your website and all the great things that you're doing?
Well, come and look for me at techimaginations.net.
And of course, we're going to link to that in episode 122 of Ask the Tech Coach. Guys, it is just the beginning of 2021. You know that. We're here to help you guys out. This is Ask the Tech Coach. We are both instructional technology coaches. We are here to help you guys out. And on behalf of Sue and everybody here in the TeacherCast Educational Network, my name is Jeff Bradbury, reminding you guys to keep up the great work in your classrooms and continue sharing your passions with your students.
You've been listening to Ask the Tech Coach, hosted by Jeff Bradbury of the TeacherCast Educational Network. Please reach out to the show with all of your questions on Twitter at AskTheTechCoach or online at www.askthetechcoach.com. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. And please take a moment to write a review in the App Store.